Hey internet people, my name's Chris Hughes at Beyond Human Performance, and welcome back to another nutrient breakdown. I got a really great response from the magnesium video, so today I'm going to break down another essential nutrient, sodium. Sodium is an essential electrolyte that helps maintain the balance of water in and around your cells. It's important for proper muscle and nerve function, as well as it aids in maintaining a stable blood pressure. The water in and around your cells, for obvious reasons, is extremely important and good for optimal health and physical performance. It's fundamental for optimal muscle function and contraction, and is in its own way a form of energy balancing for our cells. Salt can help with muscle cramping, spasming, getting that muscle pump while training, that pumping kind of stretching feeling in your muscle when you kind of flush it with blood and lactic acid builds up, as well as it helps you stay hydrated during long and or intense bouts of physical activity. Essentially, it helps balance fluids in the body, helps nerves, cells, and the central nervous system send and receive signals to the rest of our body. It's needed for quality muscular contractions and helps regulate our blood pressure. The best sources seem to be seafood or pink Himalayan sea salts, not only for the sodium, but some research suggests that pink salt may contain up to 84 different minerals and trace elements. In fact, it's these very minerals, especially iron, that's what gives it its characteristic pink color. As an important note about salt, there's a common fear and misconception that salt raises blood pressure and should be avoided at all costs. Here's the thing. The research is pretty clear that the raise in blood pressure is correlation, not causation. What that means is that the food of the average North American eats causes high blood pressure and just also happens to contain high salt. Because the average person eats a Big Mac, salty fries, salty nuggets, and instead of using water, they wash it down with a diet soda. None of these are really, hydrating. So, hey, want to know another way to cause high blood pressure? Dehydration, not drinking water. If you drink enough water, you're pretty much fine. If you're still worried about it, however, eat foods containing high potassium. It acts kind of as an antagonist to those effects of salt, allowing all the benefits and none of the negatives. In fact, research studies have shown that those with high blood pressure and high sodium intake across the board were those who also underconsumed potassium. Those with adequate levels of potassium had no negative effects of an increased sodium intake. That being said, it's also pretty conclusive that if you have diabetes or are prone to heart disease already, a reduction in sodium may be a better option. If you're none of those people and are otherwise relatively healthy, increasing salt and potassium intake could yield some pretty substantial benefits, as stated above. Personally, I noticed drastic improvements to my overall physical performance and day-to-day energy levels when I increased my sodium intake. This has also aided in my hydration levels, as the sodium increase also made me thirstier as a result. I've already discussed one area and probably the best source of sodium, which would be the pink salt, as it happens to be also usually comes with traces of potassium. But if you're not a fan, the next best thing would be iodized table salt. Why? Because iodine has been linked to balancing, regulating, and repairing thyroid function. So always making sure your salt is iodized is incredibly important. Next up on the list, I'm going to show you a food list high in potassium, so you can kind of get a great mix of the two for a double whammy of health benefits, or triple, quadruple, etc., because of all the other nutrients that are usually included. Those foods include bananas, oranges, cantaloupe, honeydew, apricots, grapefruit. Some dried fruits such as prunes, raisins, and dates are also high in potassium. Cooked spinach, cooked broccoli, all kinds of potatoes, mushrooms, peas, cucumbers. All ocean-based seafoods also tend to come with good amounts of sodium as well, already included. Oranges, pumpkin seeds, kale, most nuts, legumes, and red meat. All those foods contain very generous amounts of potassium that aid in fighting the cardiovascular and or other heart diseases, promote healthy activity, controls proper hydration, and are both considered highly essential nutrients. Hopefully that kind of clears the air on sodium intake and highlights some of the benefits of increasing a salt intake. As always, if you have any questions, ask away in the comments below, or shoot me a message or email beyondhumanperformance@gmail.com. If not, I'll see you next time.